They always be saying they want a traditional woman, like, oh, can you cook? Can you do it? You not a traditional man.
Thank you.
Be a traditional man. Is you even a breadwinner, boo? Sit down.
Anyway, thank you so much for
Can you change your
interview.
tire? Yeah. Y'all want traditional women, y'all not traditional men. Period.
All I hear is the men saying it's not worth it. The women bring nothing to the table. All they do is spend money. I mean, since the dawn of time, men have been paying for the dates, right? Why is this a new thing? Why are you upset about that bit?
They don't care that she's your worst nightmare, baby. They don't care what she's done to you.
A lot of these modern women continue to tell men how they feel about relationships is outdated, how they behave in relationships is toxic. And it's only toxic because you're not allowing me to be lazy and do whatever I want to do. Of course.
I wish I understood why people reach out to me asking me where all the good men are. Like I just have some sort of Rolodex with like, here you go, just dishing shit out. You're barely a good person yourself. So like, number one, why would I send somebody to you if you are hardly even you barely even qualify, you know what I mean? And then I don't, just be a good person, bro. And then that will align for you, swear to God.
I don't date men anymore. I don't see them as people.
I don't believe that they should even be allowed to vote.
Yeah.
Cut it if not.
I mean, that's why we're in this situation, because they're voting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel there should be a program
They start off in jail.
Yes, like start off in jail. Start off with no rights.
This is what happens when women are given power. You can easily watch things fall apart. And I'm saying this as a woman. I'm telling you, there is a reason why God calls men to be the leaders. It's time to take the word of God seriously. Come on, guys, you need to step up and be in charge again.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Boundaries are not banishment. Boundaries were never meant to destroy relationships. Healthy boundaries sound like this. I need you to speak respectfully. Or, that topic is off limits. Or, I need space right now. They don't sound like, you're dead to me. You'll never see your grandchildren again. You made me uncomfortable, so you're toxic. Scripture says to bear with one another in love. That requires maturity, not avoidance. Boundaries regulate relationships. They're not weapons to annihilate them.
A lot of these modern women don't really realize that you're playing hard to get, but you're really hard to want. Like, you really don't have anything to offer. And unfortunately, I understand. You're like, well, I want to get this, I want to do that. You're not really a person that men would want to be around for the rest of their life.
A masculine man will never be attracted to a controlling, critical woman. The masculine thrives on respect and appreciation for his strength, but a controlling woman undermines that. He wants an ally, a wife, not a mother figure who treats him like a child. Constant criticism erodes intimacy and connection, as his natural response to hostility is to go into defense mode. If she restricts his freedom, it creates a breakdown in love, respect, and trust. Key elements for the masculine to fulfill his God-given purpose to protect and provide for the feminine.
Reason number one, he just doesn't care about you. He doesn't like you enough to do anything for you. Reason number two, his feminine qualities are over dominating his masculine qualities. That means that he naturally possesses more of like the feminine energies inside of his birth chart. So his thinking process is like, why me? Why don't you do this? Whatever. And reason number three, your masculine qualities are overpopulating your feminine qualities, which means that whenever guys look at you, they don't really see that woman that needs help or needs being taken care of. Maybe you look like you don't need assistance with absolutely anything because you're capable of doing everything on your own.
Like, these modern women understand that the men who would have done anything for you 5 years ago aren't going to do anything for you now because you were out there riding the carousel, out there friend zoning people. That would have been that. I mean, the man that you're looking for is right in front of your face and you didn't want it. That's a you problem. That's a problem with your radar.
Like, we don't want to be strong. Like, we are tired of you guys looking at, because like a man will see a woman be like, oh, you strong like my mom. Like, my mom took care of us. Like, you know, we want you to actually help us. Like, we are tired of being strong. We're tired of just because your mom did it, you think we could do it too. Like, oh, you be good without me in the household. My mom did it.
The crazy part about hearing that term is the only time I ever heard I'm strong and independent and don't need no man is from out a woman's mouth telling me that. I've never heard no man say, yo, you know what? You're a real strong and independent woman. Like, it's the women who are constantly feeling the need to tell us that. Like, you struggling with me. Over there struggling. Over there struggling.
We're tired, but like we extra tired now.
Yeah.
Apparently women can't handle male baddies, and that is such a cringe thing to say, for one. But also, they just don't want them. The girlies do not want men who are done up every weekend, going to the club with their homeboys, taking pics for the gram. The girls don't want that at all. I know that all your whole lives, men, you've been hearing that women want you to open yourselves up, be more vulnerable, get in touch with your feminine side. I don't know who the women were that said that, but it's not this generation of women that you are dating. These women want y'all to go to war, build houses, fix cars. That's it. However, that is not to be confused with the fact that they do not want to go back to the traditional standards of like cooking, cleaning, taking care of children. So they want you all to go back to traditional because that was better. They just don't want to go back to traditional because they don't think that was better for them. And if we all just collectively turn our brains off for a second, it makes sense.
A lot of these modern women be trying to drag the talking stage on. They be trying to drag dating on for 5, 6, 7 months. Some of these women out here be allowing these men will let a man date. Now, you know, he need to cut it off because he wasting his money. But let these women be in control. Oh, well, we're just dating and things are going slow and we're taking it easy and all that other stuff. They want you to spend all your money on them and they won't even buy you a candy bar, dude.
Chivalry is not y'all it for yourselves though, but it ain't. Like it's on the IV. It needs some shock therapy, some. But y'all doing that. Sir, oh yes, please open my door. Yes, I love flowers. Yes. What you wearing on date? Oh, I'm wearing a dress. Oh yes, we're wearing dresses. We wearing heels. Y'all wearing tennis shoes. Ooh, this a whole nother color. Somebody gonna be mad. Somebody gonna be upset about that. When did dresses go out of style? When out of style? When did he open the door and you, thank you. Y'all be like, you better. I know that's right. What is that?
A lot of these modern women want men to chase, and they want the chase to go on for years. When I see you going, you don't even have to run into the arms of Chad and Tyrone. You don't even have to get there. If I see you running in the general direction, it's done. If I see you turning to look in the general direction, it's done. If I see you even thinking like you're going to go in that general direction, it's done. If I see you dressing like you're going to go in that general direction, I'm trying to tell you, it's done.
Something that I noticed as a woman, and I see the same thing in TikTok in real life, is when you have a life of leisure that you've created for yourself where you only have to work less than 10 hours a week, men don't like that. Men hate it when they have to work 40 plus hours a week and they ask you what you're doing today and you're like, oh, I just went to the gym now. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. And it's a work day. They get so angry. Like the amount of men, like they're like, what do you do? Like, who's your sugar daddy? Like, just because I don't work 40 hours, I don't get paid by the hour. That's not how I work. So that's why I don't work 40 hours a week. That's not how people get paid. There's a life outside of 9 to 5. But that's why I have to be careful in what I tell people. Like, I'll just say I'm at work now. Like, I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm just chilling for the rest of the week, trying to find a new Netflix show. Like, that's my job.
Twist, people that have affairs actually rate their current relationship as emotionally and sexually satisfactory, and no, they do not regret the affairs when they are having them. For the people on this app who have tried to make response videos to my last video on cheating, saying that that's just not true, that people actually do have remorse as they're having the affair, first, that makes no sense in terms of how the human conscience works, but this data just does not support it. A longitudinal study of Ashley Madison users, the cross-sectional results showed us that both emotional satisfaction, sexual satisfaction of their current relationship, the non-affair relationship, was high, while their remorse during the affair was low. So what cheaters tell me in my practice about not feeling bad about cheating while they're doing it and only feeling bad after they get caught is actually true. So if you want to protect yourself from cheating, I would definitely get on the Verified app, which is the first relationship registry that's going to make cheating impossible.
A lot of these men are opting out of dating. They're opting out of a lot of this foolishness going on, and instead opting into things like peace, opting into the gym, right? And men are not, you don't know it because a man's not sitting up there making a big deal about it. A man's not sitting up there crying and boo-hooing. You might hear a man or see a man comment on what you got going on, but for the most part, a man had already told you what it is. You just didn't listen.
That guy that made that video about catching Print is a fraud, and he needs to be investigated because he a motherfucking lie. Like, as someone that's been around many a block, there is no way to catch Print. There is no way to tell a motherfucker's dick size without feeling that bitch or seeing the dick. And even then, one time I had a guy fucking like dick fish me. Like, he knew how to work his ankles and make it look big in videos and pictures. And then in real life, he was shrimpy. The only way to not get disappointed before you link up with a guy and fuck is to make them hold up their dick next to something, an object. I would recommend like a smart water bottle or Life water, one of those. I don't know why he's like lying to y'all like this. Like, there's no way to tell unless you see it. But the method I just said, that method's patched. Yeah.
A lot of these modern women be curving men, be talking to men crazy and sideways and telling them, oh, well, you know, you're a good friend, and patting them on their head and all that other stuff, not realizing the guys that you going for are going to dog you out. And now you going to come home from the club crying, makeup smeared all over your face, trying to call that man that, oh, well, you just a good friend. You're just a nice friend, calling him at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, disturbing his sleep when he got to go to work the next day. Get off my phone. Go in there and talk to Chad and Tyrone again.
As a society, we need to bring back men who simp and men who yearn. Like, my dad, every time I'm home, my dad is the OG simp and yearner for my mother, and honestly for his daughters. He does everything for us. This morning, I was just going to run out and get a coffee, and he was like, oh, the windshields have ice on them. It frosted last night. Let me go take care of that for you. Goes, puts on a coat, puts on shoes, goes outside, warms up my car, moves it closer from the street, opens and closes the windows, everything, so that when I got in the car, it was good to go. He's the kind of husband who brings my mom a chai tea latte in bed every day because he gets up early and she sleeps in. And then he makes her a smoothie every single day. Like, he will drive me back to Chicago if I don't feel like renting a car. Like, they just don't breed them like this anymore. Like, men used to go to war, and now they go to shows and watch other boys push buttons on a little screen to make music.
Listen, I just want to give advice to women out there because I'm a little bit seasoned. If you have a good man, don't think you're going to find a better man somewhere else or leave him for a career. That's stupid as fuck. If you have a good man, stay with him and build with him and just be happy with what you have. Stop thinking there's something better. There isn't. There's not anything better out there. Stay with a good man, because we get bored and we're like, oh, you know, maybe I want to this athlete. They're anyway.
Well, not according to a lot of these females online who are trying to recruit other females and making sure that they stay single, making sure that they're decentering men. In fact, they're telling them that, look, there's always a better man out there. So if you're in a relationship and you have a small argument, something very, very, very tiny, right? You should leave him and go find somebody out there that's better than him.
Some people don't heal, they just find a new distraction. Let me ask you something, how fast did they move on? A week? A month? Shoot, they probably had somebody lined up before you were even out the door. And now you're sitting there wondering, was I that easy to replace? Baby, let me tell you something, it wasn't about you. Some people can't be alone, they don't take the time to heal, they don't reflect, they just jump from person to person trying to fill a void. But you don't need to play that game. You don't need to rush to prove you're over it. Healing isn't about moving on fast. It's about moving on right. So let them run into another situation while you take your time to rebuild yourself. Because trust me, they ain't moved on. They just moved forward. Big difference. And when that honeymoon phase wears off, when they realize they never healed from the last heartbreak, that's when they'll start looking back at you. But by then, baby, you'll be so far ahead, they won't even be in your rear view. If you feel me, drop a 100 in the comments and follow for more wisdom.
But in America, right, women use guys for meals, right, and different things, right? So if they said, can we court, right? You know, okay, we have an understanding. 6 months later, right, you spent your $80,000 deep, right? And
First of all, what kind of meals are these? 80,000 in 6 months?
Yeah, you're 80,000.
What a flex.
Yeah. And she's basically a Gucci store.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she's basically like, yeah, I just want to be friends.
But I feel like guys.
That's all. You just got played. Like that's
yeah. How do you know if you're getting played?
Friend zone is different. She's just making $80,000.
Oh, is that what it is?
But also, like, that's on you. You love to spend $80,000 and blow your money.
Do you?
Show her.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
That's your thing.
You love.
I'm women fucking spend $80,000.
You
Bobby,
just said 80,000.
It was hypothetical.
Oh, sure. Hyperbole.
Yeah. Hyperbole.
Yeah. Like 60,000.
Yes, whatever.
But you know, Papa likes to flex that he's got money.
Oh, but babe, how do you know though that it really is a courtship? Even though she said, "Are we court?" You know what I mean? How do we?
Maybe
know?
there's an honesty and
yeah,
it's a risk though. You have to.
Why don't men take women on dates anymore?
I think that everybody kind of has a different definition of what a date is, and nobody's on the same page, so that kind of makes it hard, right? A man might think, hey, I'm going to take you on a date, and maybe it means let's meet up, let's go on a walk, let's hang out, something low-key, and then somebody else might think, oh, a date's actually if I get dressed up and go out for dinner and stuff like that. So I think somebody might think you're on a date, and then the other person is like, this is not a date, you know?
Okay. So should a date involve money?
I think a lot of fun stuff costs money, unfortunately, and sometimes it's hard to do something fun if you're not super creative, you know? I don't think that a date should have to cost money, but then you got to put a little bit more like intellectual work into it, and that's kind of hard for some people, you know?
And have you been on a date as of lately?
Recently, I'm about to go on a date on Sunday, so I'm going to go to the Natural History Museum because I'm a nerd. They got a lot of big rocks on display, and I'm really excited to see those. So.
Don't you love rocks?
I love a good rock.
This is a prime example that men are logical and women are emotional, because my girl wants to get her rest and he like, I don't care, and he's
No. This is what y'all gotta understand. That's the difference. When you living in a real world, the real world don't give a how you feel. So no landlord has ever said, do your stomach hurt today? Do you not feel like
We're
that?
talking about a relationship.
It don't, but no, we still talking about the responsibility. The responsibility don't care. Her getting to school don't care how you feel. She got to get dressed to go to school. How you feel don't matter. School has to be attended. So we still talk about how you feel when it comes down to how we communicating and how much time we spending and how good this is. Then how you feel make matter. But when it comes to our responsibility, none of our feelings matter. Feelings go off the table, because if they knocking on the door to say that it's time to roll, or your kid is becoming tardy so much that to the point where it's truancy and now they want you to show up to court, how you feel about going to court don't matter. I don't know no nigga that felt like paying for some. I don't know. I'm like, you know what? Today is a great day for me to pay for everything they ask, but it's like, it don't matter how I feel. It don't not want to go to work. His hands could be swollen, his feet could be hurting, even busting his ass to make sure that they what it is, and how he feel don't matter. And very seldom do a man get asked how you feel. How you feel today. They don't get asked that, you know what I'm saying? They're just like, that's what's expected of them.
The moment she pulls away, what do? Go get her, text her, call her, show her that you care, right? All of those things. Wrong. You do not do that. Ever. Now let me explain. When a woman starts creating distance and you start chasing her, What she sees is not love. She sees desperation and neediness. The biggest mistake men make is believing that more attention is going to fix the distance. But I'm sorry, guys, it won't. When you give attention in response to her absence, you are starting to expose your weakness. And showing weakness lowers your value. And when you lower your value, you kill the attraction. When a woman pulls away, the strongest move any man can make is this. You simply don't make a move. You simply don't give a f***, because a man with self-respect does not beg for access to somebody else's attention, ever. If somebody wants distance, you give them more of that distance. You disappear, because your life should never revolve around whether one woman chooses you or not, and vice versa. There are billions of women on the planet. You do not collapse over one person pulling away, ever. So know your worth.
With paying the bills, you men have become predators, preying on the love and loyalty and emotions of these women. You trick them. You have them believing that you're something that you're not. You play off their thoughts of what a good man is, and you come in just talking your talk. Oh yeah, baby, I'ma do this. Oh yeah, baby, I'ma do that. 5 years later, you still struggling. 5 years later, you still struggling. And you keep promising her things, and you're trying to figure out why she no longer wants to listen to you. She doesn't trust you. She no longer believes in you, but she's emotionally attached to you. You might have children together. See, listen, brothers. Any man that believes that they have the right to ask a woman for that's working harder than them, paying majority of the bills in the home, you're mentally sick, because majority of the time when these women are working harder than you, jobs they don't like, I'm not talking about careers, jobs they don't like, just to help you because you're coming up short. Most of the time they're depressed, they're stressed, they're going through it emotionally, and you have the audacity to ask for. How sick can you be? Sisters, leave them.
To a singles mixer, and only women showed up.
Let's talk about the single ladies mixer that went viral over the weekend. It wasn't just about women, it was for men and women. However, only women showed up. And here's a few reasons why. Not saying this is the only reason, but here's a few obvious reasons why. Let's talk about it. Ladies said that it was the fault of the promoter because the promoter didn't promote it properly. Stop the cap. But no, it wasn't. You set your standards too high. You asking for the top 10% of men, $120,000 or more. You're asking for 14.7% of men who are over 6 foot. You're asking for the most fit and in shape men, less than 9% of the men in America, because you already know 80% of the entire country is obese, right? You've set the bar so high, it's like you're going to a job to negotiate for a job offer. They say the max is $100K. You negotiate and counter twice and say you only want $400,000. You've priced yourself out the road, the job, and out the market. You're setting your standard for men so high. You want an alpha man to be submissive, dismissive, and be cooperative at the exact same time. You're confusing and frustrating the market. You're the social one of the group. Men are used to being alone, and this is a telltale sign of where the future is ending for dating. We're telling you what we want, but you're not listening because you think you know what we want. You're only worried about what you want. And 9 out of 10, we're more successful because we listen to what a woman wants. We listen to your needs and desire, and we try to cater to them. Try doing the same thing in your results.
80%. I'm going to say 80% of women do not appreciate men, and 20% do. And I'm one of the 20. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of the 80% of the women feel like things should just be handed to them and given to them just because they are a woman, right? And then you have women that are daddy's girls, right? Their dad has done every single thing for them, right? So they expect the next man to do the same thing, not knowing that is not his job to do every single thing for you. That is your father's job. Your father took on that role to do every single thing for you because, again, that is your father. But your man or your husband, that is your partner. And a lot of women don't understand this is your partner. This is not your dad. So your job as a woman is to reciprocate the energy that he is actually giving, right? You all are supposed to show each other appreciation. It is not a one-sided thing when it comes to relationships. That's why I feel the way I feel about that. And as far as the appreciation part, well, like, where are the thank yous? You know, a lot of men don't get the thank yous. I don't care if it's opening up the door, buying you some food, bringing you some flowers. Where's the appreciation? Do you deserve these things? He's not obligated to do anything for you, right? The choice is his. He's doing it for you because he cares about you. He loves you. He rocks with you. And you're not supposed to take advantage of things like that. But while he's doing all these things for you, what are you doing for him, right? So that's where the appreciation part comes in. Hey, y'all, it's Pretty P. I just did an amazing interview, baby, with 80 the Kingmaker. Understand what I'm saying? On the King's Corner podcast. Make sure you follow him on Instagram so you can be notified when the episode drops. And guess what? You heard it here first. Yeah.
One of the things that I hated was like how big his ego was. Like he thought he was the prize and he was like, I'm handsome, I have money. Like, know that you are very lucky to be dating me. And you know, like the amount of self-control that it took for me to agree. Like, yeah, that's what I'm here. To gold dig the out of you. And he was a master manipulator. And when life presented me with that opportunity, I was like, okay, how am I, me, teeny, 5'1" Latina, is ever going to match the intellect and the manipulation tactics of a seasoned man, right? Expert in seduction. So I got to become creative, right? And I realized the men who have huge egos are easier to manipulate because all they think is about themselves. And all they pursue is things that are going to please them. And so I started working around, like out of the radar, where he wouldn't even suspect. Also because they're busy. They have busy lives. They really don't have time to be thinking or paying attention to your tactics. But some of them might. But in my case, it was easy. I will just start thinking of ways to gold dig him.
A lot of these modern women want the benefits of chivalry and really honestly the wealthy lifestyle without giving anything in return, right? You want that man to provide for you. You want that man to protect you. You want that man to lead. And instead of respecting, appreciating, and supporting that, and finding things to do in order to continue with that system, you find ways to actively sabotage everything in the relationship.